Welcome everyone to Homecoming Speeches. Thank you all for being here, and to those online, welcome as well. We hope everything works out in the rooms for you guys. We are going to be in order of all of the girls first, and then the guys. Our first one is Miss Sarah Baldwin.
Oh my God. Okay. Hi, my name is Sarah Baldwin, but if we've never met before, you probably know me as that one really tall girl who plays volleyball. I'm very thankful to be up here, but please give me some grace because I'm really bad at public speaking. My heart's going like a million miles an hour right now, which is surprising considering my sister's kind of known for that. As the valedictorian, thespian president, and a part of the choir, this stage has probably seen more of her than I have. On top of that, she was actually on court her senior year as well, which is reason number one why you should vote for me. As her younger sister, I've been competing with her my entire life. And considering I'm nowhere near valedictorian, I have terrible stage fright, and the good singing gene dodged me, this is my last and final chance to beat her, in high school at least. On a more serious note, being my sister's page my sophomore year engraved the idea in my mind that that could be me my senior year, that I could be the one walking down that carpet wearing that dress and experiencing all of the amazing things that she got to experience. So when my senior year rolled around, I still had that image in my mind. However, I was not expecting to get on. I've never been one to have more than 5 friends or go out on weekends. I have most of my friends for the length of our volleyball season, and I spend most of my free time at home alone with my dog. So getting up was not only a surprise, but my reminder to always be who you are, because in the long run, the person you are and the person you become is really the only thing that matters. As a few of you may know, my boyfriend left for boot camp back in August, and it's been really hard not having him here. However, the support that I've had from everyone up here, especially my volleyball girls, has made this time so much easier. So thank you guys for that. Every girl up here is amazing, but my volleyball girls, Jenna and Kristen, have such a special place in my heart. I really have grown up with them. I remember the countless nights me and Kristen spent outside trying to hit a water bottle with a volleyball, and me and Jenna doing the most out-of-pocket things like lighting Q-tips on fire, pretending to smoke them, and then setting the fire alarm off. So being able to do this our senior year together is just the cherry on top. Although I'm not as close to the other girls, this experience has allowed me to get closer to them and really start to understand their personalities. I've learned that Kirsten is the most bubbly person I know, and she has a smile on her face 90% of the time. I try not to see the other 10% though, because it kind of scares me. Lexi always knows when to crack a joke or make a sarcastic comment, and Elise is literally always giggling at anything and everything, including herself. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to do this with. I've loved being able to think back to when we were young and compare it to how we are now. If someone had told us that we'd get the chance to dress up in big sparkly dresses, wear tiaras for an entire week, or drive around in a nice car throwing candy at people, we would have seriously freaked. Which I guess is something that hasn't changed for most of us, because I'm sure we all still freaked out when we first got the email. At least I know I did. What I'm trying to get at here is that there's not a wrong option when it comes to voting. But if you need any help, I at least have one thing on these girls, which is like 6 inches vertically. If you need help reaching the top shelf of the library, as your queen, I can help you. Or if you need a hand navigating through the packed hallways, I got you. Anyways, to end it off, I have a handful of thank yous to give out. First, I want to thank everyone who voted me on and my parents for helping me throughout this process. They really have been a blessing. I could not have done this without my mom's support and my dad's credit card, so they get a very special thank you. Next, thank you to my page Hope for being around to help me whenever she can, and thank you to my escort Jordan. Jordan has literally let me pick out everything except for the parade car, but I think we all saw that coming. So thank you for being flexible and open to anything. And then lastly, I want to thank my sister for giving me all the tips and tricks and spending an hour correcting practically everything about this speech, and thank you guys for listening to it. Vote Jordan for King.
Our next speech is from Miss Kirsten Murphy.
Oh, this is so scary. Okay, hi friends. Hi, my name is Kirsten Murphy, also known as Kier or Murph. Most of you know me, but for those who don't, here's a little about me. I've been a student in the Roxana district since pre-K. Cheerleading pretty much consumes my life. I'm always smiling. I'm not the one to follow the crowd, and I consider everyone my friend. I can be quiet sometimes, but I also have a fun, bubbly side. Music is my lifeline. My family and faith are most important. Friday dance parties and Spanish 4 are my favorite, and the girl you see running around with the flag on Friday nights with every shell touchdown, well, that's me. I have a long list of people to thank, so please bear with me. To the senior class of 2025, thank you all so much for voting me onto homecoming court and giving me this amazing opportunity. Thank you for seeing me for who I truly am, and thank you for thinking I'm deserving of this experience. To my amazing parents, Michael and Amy Murphy, they work so hard to give me a great life and support me in everything that I do. I can never thank you enough, and I love you both so, so much. Also to my siblings, my older brother Brennan and my little sisters Michaela and Madeline, I love you, and I'm lucky to have the three of you by my side. To my cheer coaches, Coach Palin, Coach Nikki, and Coach Sam, thank you for always believing me. Thank you for not only teaching me to be a better cheerleader, but most importantly, a better person. Thank you for pushing me to be my best, pouring confidence in me, and teaching me how to be a leader, and putting 110% into everything I do. Lastly, thank you for giving me 16 lifelong friendships. The team of girls is my heart and soul, and I'm soaking up the short time I have left with them. To my boyfriend Terrell, who can't be here today, he's chasing his football dream away at college, but I know he'll be here today if he could. Thank you for loving me, supporting me, and being my biggest cheerleader for the last 3 years. I love you. To my escort, Kale Hester, thank you for making this a fun experience, going along with all my crazy ideas, and most importantly, for always being a good friend. I can't think of a better partner to have by my side on this exciting, sometimes stressful, crazy homecoming ride, and I'm sorry for driving away without our posters. To my page, Madeline Murphy, thank you for being so helpful, dress shopping and selling candidate shirts, and being there for everything I need. A little backstory for you guys. When I found out that I made homecoming court, I immediately panicked. Of all people chosen for court, I'm the one with twin sisters who both happen to be sophomores. How on earth would I ever choose between them and pick a page? Well, as luck would have it, my great friend Elise also made a court. My sister Michaela and her play golf together. Elise chose Michaela as her page, and I chose Madeline as mine. How neat is it that I get to experience homecoming court with both of my little sisters? I'm beyond grateful for that. But rest in peace to my parents' pockets, because yikes. To 11 other king and queen candidates sitting up here with me today, thank you for all the laughs, the support when things felt a little overwhelming, our never-ending group chats, and our fun get-togethers. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to make these memories with. I could thank several more people, but I need to keep this speech moving and keep you guys awake. I often wonder why I was voted onto homecoming court. I don't consider myself popular, I'm not a standout athlete or a class clown, but I do consider myself kind. Representing Roxana High School with kindness has always been important to me. Whether it's a simple hello in the hallway, asking how someone's day is going, sitting with the kid who's sitting alone at lunch, choosing the kid who is never chosen as a partner in class, or just being someone's voice when they can't find their own, I always choose to be kind. Is this why people notice about me? Is my kindness the reason I'm standing up here right now? I can only hope so, because that's something to be proud of. I've always said don't look down on anyone unless you're helping them up, and I'll always stand by that. Kindness costs us nothing, and I encourage you all to shine the light of kindness onto one another with every opportunity you get. Let your light shine so brightly so that others can see their way out of the dark. To the entire body at RHS, if you need me, I'm here, and if you don't, I'm still here. Lastly, vote for Kristen Murphy and Kale Hester. Thank you.
Our next speech is from Miss Jenna Puit.
Hi, I'm Jenna Puit. For those that don't know and may be confused, my shirt says, "Don't be a diva, vote for Geneva." Geneva is my real name, which my mom stole from my 94-year-old grandma. I want to start off by saying thank you to my class for voting me up. It truly means a lot to me. Next, I want to thank my parents for all their love and support and instilling the importance of hard work into my life. I'm thankful for you guys always showing up for me every time I need it. I want to thank my older siblings, Paige and Caleb, for always giving me good advice and reminding me that I'm the favorite child. I want to thank my amazing boyfriend, Owen, for being so patient and always listening to my yapping 24/7. Thank you to my beautiful Paige, Grace, for being there ready to help and going above and beyond to make sure I have the best experience. I want to thank Coop for being a good friend all these years and letting me pick literally everything. And last but most importantly, I want to thank God. God has shown me the beautiful things that this world has to offer, and it really makes me thankful for the life I live every day. Now, before I tell you why you should vote for me, I want everyone to know that not a single one of these people up here doesn't deserve a vote. Every single one of them truly is a good person, and being up here with all these girls has been such an amazing experience so far, and I'm so glad that I got to get closer with every single one of them. The guys, too. They've been such good friends for a majority of my life. Even though they eat, sleep, and breathe football, they're still really great people. Here's some advice for all of you. To the freshmen, join all the clubs, play all the sports, meet all the people, and have the most fun ever. You don't get these years back, and I promise the drama will be over in a week. But most importantly, don't take your time here for granted. I remember my first blue and gold and playoff game like it was yesterday. Don't have any regrets, but if someone says they need blinker fluid, don't believe them. To the sophomores, this is your last semi-stress-free year, so enjoy it. Make the memories, don't forget about your friends, and also make new friends. I promise people don't think of you as a freshman anymore. To the juniors, this year may be your hardest, but don't forget to put the pencil or computer down and go to football, volleyball, basketball, soccer. You know what I'm trying to say. Go to all the games and the plays. That's what they made the retake policy for. And lastly, to the seniors, we've all been here for what seems like forever, and we probably know a bit too much about each other than we would like to admit, but this is it, and I can't wait to spend the rest of the year with you. If you take anything from this speech, let it be this. Now, this is a story all about how Jenna got up for homecoming and had to figure it out, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you why you should vote for me is the air. In Central Roxana, I was born and raised. On the volleyball court is where I spent most of my days, diving out, serving, relaxing, all cool and all, passing some volleyballs inside the school. When a couple of girls, they were up to all good, started making an impact in my neighborhood. I got one little dress and my mom got excited. She said, "You're gonna look so good on homecoming night." I shopped and talked with her day after day, but she bought me some outfits and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put on my t-shirt and said, "Might as well win it." Vote for Coop.
Our next speech is from Miss Lexi Chamberlain.
Hi everyone. I'd like to begin by saying I'll probably stutter and pause a lot, so please bear with me. Anyways, hi, I'm Alexis Chamberlain. No one actually calls me Alexis though, so please call me Lexi. I want to start my speech with all of my thank yous to get them out of the way, but I'll try to keep them short. My first thank you goes to my mom and my dad for putting up with all my crap. Not only during this whole homecoming process, but for the past 17 years. I know I can be a lot at times, so thank you for being in my corner. I love and appreciate both of you more than you could ever imagine. My second thank you goes to my page, Miss Elise Barry. This girl has done her absolute best to help me with anything I've needed during this process, so thank you for being so patient and caring through all of my chaos. Another thank you goes to anyone who's been in the Roxana cheerleading program these past 4 years. If you know me at all, you'd know that cheerleading is what keeps me coming to school every day. To the girls and the coaches, I love you. Thank you for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. The next two thank you goes to my two very best friends, these two being my sister Maddie and my boyfriend Grady. I will always be grateful for the continuous love and support that both of you have shown me over the years. I'm beyond blessed to have both of you in my life. My final thank you is to the court. I'm honored to be standing up here with these amazing people. I'm so excited I get to experience this with every one of you. All of you have made this experience nothing short of amazing, and for that I'll always be grateful. Now I could stand up here for the next few minutes and tell you every reason why you should vote for the people sitting beside me, but if I did that, we'd be here all day. Just know that when you go to vote, any one of the candidates is a good choice. There's something to admire about every one of them. Before I end my speech, I want to give a short piece of advice to each class. To the freshmen, I know it'll sound cliche, and I'm sure you've heard it at least a million times, but high school goes by so fast. Make sure these next 4 years are something future you would be proud of. Make new friends, sit with new kids at lunch, be nice to your teachers, and join new sports or clubs. High school is supposed to be some of the best years of your life, so take it all in and have fun. To the sophomores, I know it feels like you still have so much left of high school, but for me, sophomore year felt like it was last week. Most of you will be getting your license this year, which is everyone's first big step towards freedom. With that, enjoy your taste of freedom, but don't forget to be safe. To the juniors, even though everyone says junior year is the hardest year of high school, it's only hard if you make it hard. Keep up with your assignments and do your homework, but still make sure you're saving time to have fun. Go to those parties, ask that person out, hang out with your friends. You're already halfway done with high school, so make sure these next 2 years are something to remember. Lastly, to the seniors, I could go on and on about how much this class means to me, but to keep it short, I'm so grateful I've gotten to experience this with all of you guys. It's so bittersweet to think that we're having all of our last high school memories this year, but I couldn't imagine a better group to do it with. To wrap up this speech, I'd like to end by saying thank you to everyone who decided I deserve to be on homecoming court. I'll always be grateful I got to experience this, so thank you for giving me the opportunity. To end this speech, I'd like to give everyone listening a piece of advice from our most recent prom queen, Miss Michaela Brown, which reads, "If they sleeping on you, tuck them in." Thank you.
Our next speech is from Miss Elise Barry.
Hello, Roxana High School. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elise Barry, a senior who has had the privilege of being part of this amazing school for the past 4 years. As I stand here today, I'm asking for your vote to be your next homecoming queen. I'm also asking you to forget all about the red splotches that are probably breaking out all over my face and neck. Giving a speech makes me a little nervous. If you know me, you know it's pretty much the equivalent of getting cold called to work on a problem during math class. So remember, my speech may not be the best, but my outfit is on point. Next, I want to thank my parents for always believing in me and supporting me no matter what. I would not be the person standing here today without them. I also want to give a shout out to my sister Edie. I love how much you crack me up every day. Even those weird Snapchats you send me, it's honestly concerning. Love you, Eddie. I also want to give a shout out to the Big Back crew. You know who you are. I love these girls so much, and I'm so grateful for all of the support you've given me. I also can't wait for our next Big Back Blockbuster, where we all hang out and eat some good food. I also want to thank my page, Michaela Murphy. Even though I had a blonde moment, not realizing I picked someone who would vote for their sister. I'm just kidding. I would have picked you no matter what. Yet I'm so thankful I get to have you as my page. I have loved getting to know you and spend time with you at golf. Even though we have to bribe ourselves with McDonald's just to get through practice. And I can't forget my escort, Andrew Ellis. I'm so excited to have you as my escort. Thank you so much for going with the flow and letting me pick out our walkout song. Don't feel bad for him, guys. I did let him pick the car. Now a little bit about myself. If there are 3 things you should know about me, it is that I don't like math, I have anxiety about math and other things like speeches, and I'm a really bad speller. All my friends can attest to that one. As I was writing this speech, my mom reminded me of a funny story about my terrible spelling. So we all know I used to be a gymnast. Well, one day I walked into practice and I had to fill out a secret Santa form. One of the questions on this form was, "What is your favorite candy?" This was a really tough question. So when my mother picked me up from practice, she asked me what I put as my favorite candy. I just responded with jelly beans. My mom was then very confused and shocked and said, "Elise, you hate jelly beans." I just started to laugh and said it's the only thing I could think of and spell. Looking back, why didn't I just go with the Jolly Ranchers? I ended up with a lot of jelly beans that did not get eaten. On to more serious things. So the real question is, why would you vote for me when there are so many amazing people to choose from? As I've gotten older, I have realized there is always going to be someone smarter than me, prettier than me, and a better golfer than me. Oh, and let's not forget a better speller. But that's okay, because one thing I'm proud of is the way I treat others. I'm a firm believer that you always need to be the person who sees and values everyone for who they are. It doesn't matter to me what friend group you are in or how popular you are. What truly matters is that we all belong. It's about how we treat each other on a daily basis. Homecoming is about more than just a crown and a sash, although I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited about wearing something shiny. It's about coming together, celebrating our school spirit, and making sure everyone feels included in the fun. The best memories are the ones like last football season when everyone in this small town came together to root on our Shells football team. I have always looked forward to seeing everyone at the games. Another favorite memory for me is going to Belk Park to take pictures with everyone for HOCO and prom. Even though I was late to last year's pictures because my mom was a Karen about my hair and now we are banned from beauty brands, so I definitely won't forget that one. And let's not forget, I love to laugh and bring a little humor and high fashion to every situation. Even if the laughing is usually at me, and it usually has something to do with how obsessed some people think I am with Lululemon, which, by the way, I am not. However, they do make quality clothes. Either way, I think we could all use more laughter because life is stressful enough. Thank you, senior class, for giving me this opportunity. I am grateful, even though I may or may not have had a nervous breakdown trying to write and give this speech. Junior class, you probably have a lot of homework and need a Starbucks right now. Freshman and sophomore classes, start working towards your GPA now since it will affect you in the future. And lastly, seniors, live up every moment, go to every game, attend every dance, and most importantly, have fun. This is your last year of high school. You've worked so hard to get here, either by staying up crying at the dinner table trying to do math homework, or procrastinating either Miss Robbins or Miss Turley's English papers, which are always due at 11:59 p.m. Better get that one turned in. Just a reminder, it's just a paper that your life basically depends on. To sum it all up, I would like to end with a quote from Taylor Swift. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Thank you for your support, and remember, vote Elise Barry for Queen and Ellis for King.
Our final speech from our maid of honors is Miss Kristen Mills.
Hello, my name is Kristen Mills, but most of you may know me as Critter or the girl with the horrible driving record. To start, I'd just like to say excuse the heavy amount of laughing I may do, the stuttering, or maybe even crying, because if you ask Mr. Milazzo, I'm just a big baby. For this amazing opportunity, I owe the senior class and the people who voted for me to be in this position. I am very grateful and honored to experience this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and to share it with the people I've known since my childhood. Since I've grown up with these girls, I figured I'd share some of my favorite memories that I've had with them. Jenna is the kind of friend you just do stupid things with. It doesn't matter where you are, day or night, or who's around. Let me set the scene for you. It's 2021, and we're freshmen. We're on a school bus headed towards Salem for a softball game. During this bus ride, we have a tradition. You must perform a talent, and the coaches vote for the winner, and said winner is awarded a gift card of their choice. Jenna and I decided to team up and perform the stupidest talent one can think of. We just drew on each other's faces with mascara since Jenna forgot to bring the face paint we'd agreed to use. She made me a cat and I made her Batman. I will forever cherish my lifelong friendship with Jenna Puit. Next is Sarah. Sarah and I have grown closer over this past year. You could say it's the closest we've ever been, and although we're currently making memories to last a lifetime, my favorite is when we went sledding. Now, if you didn't sled with your friends at some point in your childhood, then are you really friends? This isn't your typical snow day sledding. This is sledding in the fall down Sarah's flight of stairs. With a fake horse, a plastic sled, and too many pillows and blankets to count at the bottom. And let's not forget the helmets we wore on the way down. An essential part of high school is having an impulsive and fun friend like Sarah. I love our friendship and how much it has grown. Moving on, if you didn't know this about me, I was subjected to cheerleading in the 4th and 5th grade. I regularly attended tumbling classes with Lexi, and let's just say she was a natural while I was not, and that's why I play volleyball now. One day at our tumbling lesson, I had this brilliant idea to jump over the barrels used to support us during back handsprings, so that is exactly what Lexi and I did. The whole time we were thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Well, Lexi's sister Maddie jumped over the barrel and ended up breaking her ankle. I reminisce on our old cheer days and appreciate the friendship we have built now that we are grown up and soon starting the next chapter of our lives. In high school, you may find yourself trying to change yourself or your personality, but not Kirsten and I. We got a jump start on this trend and decided to give it a try in grade school. It was 4th grade, and we were randomly placed at the table categorized as Gryffindor in the Harry Potter theme of Miss Palfrey's classroom. We instantly became friends. We had this wonderful idea to swap names for a day. I was now Kirsten, and she was Kristen. This is by far my favorite memory with Kier, and one we can always look back on. I wouldn't want to switch names with anyone else. Lastly is Elise. I've known Elise since 4th grade when she was also in Miss Palfrey's class. Let me just say that growing up with Elise was never a dull moment. Her kindness and positive energy has never failed to make me laugh or smile. Elise is so kind, she wore the most horrendous bow ever just to twin with me. We wore these bows that I handmade to her younger sister's soccer game, and I will forever feel sorry for making her wear them in public. She will forever be one of my favorite girls to laugh with. Now that the memories are over, let's chat about high school. Although days can be rough and nights are almost always long, take advantage of every day. If you have one goal in high school, make it to be kind to everyone and always to help others. Make time for your friends and always try to meet new people. High school is much easier when it feels like the people around you are family, so always treat others the way you want to be treated. You never realize what you have until it's gone, and trust me, in the blink of an eye, you'll be a senior too. My last piece of advice is to always hold your friends and family close to your heart and admire the relationships you've built over this short amount of time. Now on to my thank yous. First is the most important thank you. My parents have always supported me no matter what I did. They raised me to be generous, to always lend a helping hand, and that family always comes first. There is nothing they wouldn't do for me and that I wouldn't do for them. I am thankful for everything they have taught me, whether it was how to swing a softball bat, the mature way to handle drama, or what life after high school is. They never fail to spend time with me, come to my volleyball games, and love me the way a child should be loved. I will hold dearly the sacrifices they have made for me and will always strive to make them prouder and prouder each day. I honestly don't know where I would be without these two wonderful people raising me. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for everything you have done for me. I love you guys to the moon and Saturn. My next thank you is to my sisters. My older sister and I have never been closer than we are now, except that's not a distance since she's in Virginia serving our country, but to my surprise, she's here today. Her bravery has influenced me to follow into her footsteps and join myself. I've always looked up to her and her ability to make other people smile. My younger sister can be a thorn in my side, but I love her dearly and hope that I'm the kind of person she looks up to and wants to be like when she's older. Thank you both for being my built-in best friends. I love you guys. My final thank you is to Steph Palmer and Jeff Ogle. Thank you both for making school not so miserable on the bad days. I appreciate both of you so much for always helping me highlight the positives and not letting the negatives bring me down. Thank you both for everything you've helped me through. I want to give a special shout out to my page, Maddie John. Thank you for being so supportive and just going with whatever I say, even if you don't know what it means. Thank you for listening, and make sure to vote Joe Newton and me as your 2024 Homecoming King and Queen.
Now for our first Man of Honor speech, Mr. Jordan Carter.
Good morning. I'm Jordan Carter, also known for having a somewhat cool truck. It's an honor to be nominated for Homecoming Court. I'm a little nervous being up here and speaking in front of y'all, so let's get into it. Most people start off with saying a joke, but my life's a joke. I drive a squatted truck, I have no girlfriend, and my mom goes to jail every day. Don't worry, she works there. I also go to empty parking lots to take videos of my truck to post on TikTok. That should say a lot about me. I have been a student at Roxana since pre-K. As I look back at all the students sitting up here with me and all the students gathered here today, I share so many memories, laughter, and learning and fun experiences with y'all. First, I'd like to mention these 6 girls that have been voted to represent RHS. I've had the opportunity to be in class with some of them. I've enjoyed cheering them on in their sporting events, and I've appreciated them cheering me on through the years. I've also worked with one of them outside of school. I wish you girls all the best of luck, but to Sarah, it's an honor to escort you and share this memory with you our senior year. Now on to the boys. Cooper, Kale, Kaden, Joe, and Andrew. We have shared so many memories together, not just at school, but on the baseball, football, and soccer field, and at wrestling tournaments, and at very questionable hangouts. We not only grew up as friends, but our families became friends. I'm sure you've heard the saying, it takes a village. Well, we are lucky enough to say we have a village of parents behind us. So thank you to all the parents who played a role in my life. One of the best things about being a Roxana Shell is that no matter if you are an athlete, a scholar, or in the drama club, band, or just a shell, we all support each other and help bring the best in each other. One of the memories that have stuck with me for a long time that I share with Cooper is him helping me with a project in 4th grade whenever we dressed up as the Wright brothers. We went all out, full-blown costumes, wearing aviator goggles, suspenders, hats, and matching shirts, and a mustache. We danced our way to an A in Miss Clark's class. Now, Kaden, I won't forget my first car accident being right outside your house. Just an FYI, it wasn't mine. My fault. Now, Kale, I won't forget the time I accidentally shot you in the stomach with a BB gun. It might have made you cry a bit. Now, Joe, it was amazing being part of the 4 founding daddies in Malazzo's class our sophomore year. If you were in that 4th hour class, you know, and I'm sure Malazzo enjoyed it as much as we did. Now, my last favorite D1 athlete, Andrew. I enjoyed playing soccer with you when we were the hooligans. That was a very interesting team we had when we decided to put all the football players on the soccer team. You can thank our parents for that one. But last, I want to give a shout out to my ride or die, Zeb. We've been through a lot over the years, and even having our own gaming setup at my house and having your own bed at my house. Working together, and we also worked together for a while. Just proud to see our journey carry on through our brothers. To my teachers, I feel the credit for the tight-knit community here at RHS goes to all of you. Early in our educational journey, you have taught us that we all matter and make a difference in our world. Thank you for the positivity and for believing in us, especially Mr. Goen for saving my life when my wheel on my truck was about to fly off. Pro tip, don't mess with something you don't know how to do. Now I want to thank my mom, dad, and Christy for always being the parents who support me in my decisions some of the time, and who are always there to cheer me on in life. I thank you for your dedication through the years, waking me up every morning, washing my clothes and uniforms, feeding me and running me to and from my events, and never missing a beat. Finally, after 18 years, I am most self-sufficient, but definitely prefer your guys' cooking. I also want to thank you for instilling me in my strong work ethic. You guys have taught me the importance of working hard and saving my money. Well, if you know me, I'll be off somewhere in God's creation. Could be hours away trying to find a marketplace deal. In closing, I'd like to say to the freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors at Roxana High School, your friendship, love, and support you have given me has shaped me into the person I am today. Dream big, set goals, and make money. The way I look at it, your paycheck resets every week, so spend it. I would appreciate your vote for King, and remember, be trucking awesome, and vote Jordan for King and Sarah for Queen.
Our next speech is from Mr. Kale Hester.
Hello? All right. Hello, good morning, I'm Kale. The first thing I want to say is thank you to my parents for helping me with everything, not just homecoming, but life in general. You guys are always there for me no matter what. Even when I do something good or bad, you guys still never fail to make me feel loved by you both. I will forever be grateful for all you guys do and sacrifice to make sure I get what I want and need every single day. I say thank you to the senior class that voted me up for court. I feel extremely blessed to be up here as a King candidate. I also want to congratulate all the other candidates who were also voted up, and I really do wish you guys the best. I even appreciate the opportunity to be up here with all these amazing people, some of my best friends, and Andrew Ellis. Ever since the Andrew Ellis has committed, he seems to have called himself AJE. But me and Andrew both know that he is still just a young boy chasing the success in the weight room to be stronger than me. On a serious note, even though you push my buttons and try to make me mad all the time, I really do appreciate how hard you push me to be my best. You never fail to pick me up when I'm slacking, which is something I'm very grateful for. I'm truly blessed to have a friend like you to keep me in check, especially since you're somewhat good at football. Hashtag go Huskies. Moving on to Cooper Harris. One of my deepest memories I have with Cooper is actually when we first became friends. We were only in kindergarten when Cooper came up to me and made fun of my Batman shoes. As a result, my own mother, who was his teacher at the time, gave him recess detention. Ever since then, Cooper has been one of my best friends and is just like a little brother to me. Just a small lost man-child looking for guidance to his path of life. Cooper never fails to make someone laugh and is the true definition of a bodyguard. He is never afraid to stick up for one of his friends, which is something that everyone knows and appreciates about Cooper. Now we go to Jordan Carter. There's not too many bad things to say about Jordan. He is nice to everybody, and he will always be there for you if you ask. He can go into a room and change the whole mood based on saying something stupid that turns into something funny. But those that know Jordan know that he is obsessed with his truck. Some people, including me, would say he is overly obsessed with his truck. All I have to say about Jordan is it's time for all these cringy TikToks to stop, man. They needed to end like yesterday. Growing up with Jordan has actually taught me a lot, and something that I took away from Jordan was his perspective. I feel that Jordan sees past people's visual appearances and looks deeper into why people do certain things, which is a very valuable lesson that I think all people should learn. So Jordan, I thank you for always being there for me and everyone and teaching me things while just being yourself. Then there's Joe Newton, hashtag Newton Heating and Cooling. Coming into RHS his freshman year as a tall, skinny, long-haired beach boy, Joe left me with no clue what to expect from him. But ever since he has moved here, I've learned that his fellow Joe has been here his entire life. He is a guy that is super down to earth and is always down to go on an adventure. Joe's just a very likable guy who's brutally honest and understanding, but will never hesitate to clown you in any instance. I thank you, Joe, for being a ride or die best friend and that I can always rely on. Finally, there's Kaden Davis. Kaden has been my friend ever since I could remember. He's always been there for me through thick and thin, and is a guy you always had to keep away from your girl you were talking to. When thinking about Kaden, I think about how we became best friends in kindergarten. I was walking into the classroom, and I saw Kaden bawling his eyes out because he was about to be late for the bus due to the fact he couldn't carry his pumpkin in his backpack. Me trying to be a good person helped him and took the pumpkin where he went. After that moment, I spent a lot of time with Kaden. Over the years, there have been many times I've spent weeks in a row spending the night just to play Fortnite, going on float trips, and just doing everything with this guy. After spending all these years together, I have a friend for life and a person I will continue to have to keep away from my girlfriend. Thank you for being my boy for all my life. I can't express how much I appreciate you for being a real friend who will always be there through anything. From years of school experiences, late summer nights, random showings, nighttime bus rides, jamming to music, or just us getting food on the way home from a baseball game, these people up here and in the crowd have made high school an experience of a lifetime. I can't thank you guys enough for turning anything you can into a fun time. I've created a ridiculous amount of memories with all of you and will cherish my time with you all this last year. Being up here with these guys who have made this experience so much fun has made me realize that if they win, it will feel as though I'm winning too. As I am up in front of you guys as a senior of the class of 2025, it has brought a lot of memories back over the past 4 years. Even though not all of us have hung out in a group setting, we did still share some amazing memories here at Roxana High School. I want to thank RHS for giving me an amazing past couple of years. I really do appreciate all the people who have helped me throughout my time here. From now to however long I may live, Roxana will always be my home. Thank you guys for listening, and vote me and Kirsten for King Queen.
At this time, we're going to stop the speeches because of passing period, and we'll resume at 9:40. At this time, we're going to start with our next speech by Mr. Cooper Harris.
Good morning. I'm Cooper Harris. I would like to thank the class of 2025 for voting me up on the homecoming court. It's been so much fun with all these people on court, and honestly, experience I won't forget. It feels surreal standing up here today. I can remember sitting in Mr. Nedemeyer's class, watching Nick, Evan, Chris, Kyle do their speeches. And I know it sounds cliche, but I can remember so many things that I have learned throughout my almost 4 years in high school. I would love to talk about these other candidates that I have the pleasure of being on court with. Kale. It all started with those dumb Batman shoes. Those are the first words I ever said to Kale, making fun of his Batman shoes on the first day of kindergarten. Now, if anybody knows Kale, we fight like brothers and argue about everything. But if there's one thing I know about Kale, it's that he will always be a great friend and he will be there for me no matter what. No matter how much I make fun of those dumb Batman shoes. Joe, even though I've only known you since high school started, you have become such a great friend, a great person to be around. There are so many memories, good times. The funny memories are the best in my opinion. But sometimes those funny memories are not so funny to Joe. Like the time I broke his bed by tackling Kale and Evan onto it after he told us to stop wrestling. Or all the times Kale would stuff trash under his beanbag and Mama Newt would get mad at Joe and then we'd not be able over there for like a week or so. Andrew, as everyone knows, he's going D1 for football. But what everyone doesn't know is that I was his first QB. Pretty much saying I'm the one that started it all. The one who threw him his first pass and handed him his first ball. But in all seriousness, hard work, Andrew is the definition of hard work pays off. And I'm glad I could get the chance to create such a great opportunity for him. Jordan, the truck guy, always talking about his truck. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, if you didn't know, Jordan had a truck and he'd love to tell you about it. That's not all I know about Jordan. We've done plenty of things together, whether it's football, wrestling, baseball, soccer. Even if it's helping him perform a Wright Brothers skit in Miss Clark's class, running around with those fake mustaches, baggy pants, singing songs with huge smiles on our faces, and now we're on court together. Kaden, I saved the worst for last because I feels like I can only come up with stories where they end up with us doing something dumb. Like the time me, you, and a few others thought it'd be a good idea to light a bunch of fireworks, put them in a trash can at a park. But as you could have guessed, it wasn't a great idea at all. The trash can had smoke pouring out of it, the fire department showed up, put the fire out. End result, we found our faces posted all over the Airwood Manor Facebook page. By the way, everyone, make sure you vote Jenna for Homecoming Queen. And as I wrap up this speech, I would like to thank my family and my girlfriend for making this as least stressful as possible, and for Jenna for doing pretty much everything. There's not a single thing I did besides make the pose. So, and I would like to thank everybody at Roxana, student, teachers, faculty, and the student council for making this process go very smoothly. I would also like to thank all these candidates up here that I've had the pleasure doing this with. I would not have rather done it with anyone else. Here's a scoop. Vote for Coop.
Our next speech is Mr. Kaden Davis.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kaden Davis, but a lot of people call me CD, and to be honest with you guys, I hate reading off paper, so bear with me. I've been a student of the Roxana District my entire life, and during these years, I've met a lot of people that have changed the course of my life. Some of them I get to share the stage with today. These guys up here I would consider calling my brothers. Whether I hang out with them in some random parking lot on a Saturday night, spend years on the football field, or see them basically every night packed in my basement, they've all had an impact on me that I'll remember forever. Starting from the top, I want to talk about Jordan. A lot of my stories with Jordan root from walking around the neighborhood on a random Thursday evening during quarantine, playing sports, or hanging out in one of those random parking lots. I played football with Jordan for as long as I can remember, but one specific instance I remember was during a Monday night JV game in Redbud. Jordan comes in the huddle early in the game and says, "I don't feel so great, guys." And just so conveniently, the next play Jordan was running the ball. So we break the huddle, Jordan gets the ball, gets tackled, scrambles up, rips off his helmet, and threw up all over that field in Redbud. That was a pretty common way of Jordan getting rid of the damage video games had done in the off-season of whatever sport was coming up next. The second person I'm going to talk about is Kale. And this is off the top, but I had a lot of nice things to say about Kale. But then he gave his speech. So I might just have to scratch it all, but no. Kale's always been like a little brother to me. But me and Kale have been brothers for years. In fact, I met Kale in kindergarten when I was trying to stuff that pumpkin into my backpack and it wouldn't zip up. So in fear of missing the bus, I did what any reasonable 5-year-old would do. Started yanking the zipper and crying. But then Kale turned the corner and zipped that bag up on the first try. But that's not the story I want to share about Kale. In junior high, Kale would always come over to my house with a nice $20 bill that me and him would walk up to Farm Fresh with and buy snacks. So one day, we go back to my house after our walk and sat down ready to play a whole lot of Fortnite. Me and Kale had been playing forever when I remember Kale losing the game, so reasonably, I called him trash at the game, which led to him putting me in a headlock, which I refused to tap out of. So instead, I reared back and punched him right in the nose. And that sure did the trick. Kale hopped up and walked to the bathroom crying, which led me to start crying in fear of the end of our Fortnite marathon. So we made up approximately 30 seconds afterwards and got right back to our games. Little did I know how a zipper and $20 could influence a friendship that I hold tightly. Next guy I'm going to talk about is Coop. When I tell you in junior high, Cooper and I were like Batman and Robin, I'm not lying. It would have been surprising to see one of us without the other. In 7th grade, Cooper spent the night at my house for like 8 days in a row, and I don't know if I could have stood him for another day. But me and Cooper weren't always like this. The first time me and Cooper hung out outside of school was at one of my birthday parties, and this dude was wild. He was the most energetic person I had ever met. As we grew up together, Cooper began to slowly turn me into a more energetic, outgoing, and lively person, and I thank him for that because it has built our friendship today. And don't worry, Cooper and I still ride around like Batman and Robin. Now I'm going to talk about Joe. I first met Joe in our old health class where we progressively became friends until now, where I could probably count on my fingers the amount of times I've gone without seeing Joe since freshman year. A good reason for that is the gift and the curse that Joe and I share, the basement hangout spots. The usual question every weekend is, are we staying at Jake and Joe's or Caden's tonight? But I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know how the last 4 years of my life would have gone without that basement and my friendship with Joe. The parties after football games, the nights spent by the campfire, and the group of friends that has been assembled within Joe's basement is a piece of me. And I don't think we show Jake and Joe and the victims of Kale's messes how much we appreciate it. Finally, the slowest guy I know, Andrew. Andrew was one of the first people to ever attend my birthday parties when I was younger and has been attending ever since. And I'm not sure why, because I don't know how my mom thought it would be a good idea to take me and all my friends to go see Frozen for my birthday. But luckily, the party was restored when she took us to altitude, securing Andrew's attendance at all future birthday parties. I could go on and on about the stories I share with Andrew, but I have something different to share about Andrew and I. A very jaw-dropping reveal. Andrew and I had auto together sophomore year, and one random day, Andrew walked in and told me he had an idea. You ever see how some schools have a Barstool page? Andrew asked me. I was clueless. But he showed me a couple of examples, and I was on board immediately. And that day, the Roxana Barstool was made, and thanks to all of you, it has been going strong ever since. To close everything up, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Lexi and her family for getting so much of this whole thing figured out for us. I appreciate it so much, and vote for Lexi. I also want to thank my classmates for giving me the opportunity to deliver this speech today, along with the teachers and coaches that have guided me here. Thank you to the people I've met because of this place and the students that have changed the culture here for the better. Finally, I want to thank my family, not just related by blood, but the people who have cared for me and all the parents that have basically shared joint ownership with all my friends and I throughout our childhood. There isn't a single place I wouldn't consider my home away from home, but specifically Mom, Dad, and Mason. Mom and Dad, I don't even know where to begin. Your love, support, and guidance has shaped me into the person I am today, and I'll be forever grateful to have you two by my side all my life. And Mason, my first best friend. No matter how many tardies and grounded hours I have because of you, I'll always have your back. It's crazy thinking you're just now started where I was 4 years ago, but the time is finally here, and I'm excited to hear about what you and your friends do in this place. Thank you, guys.
Our next speech is from Mr. Andrew Ellis.
All right, hey guys, I'm pretty sure all you know me by now, so I'm just gonna get into this. And first, I'd just like to start this off by discussing some of the rumors I'm sure a majority of you guys have heard being thrown around about me. And sadly, I do have to admit, yes, they are true. At 17 years old and a senior in high school, I still get breakfast in bed every single morning from my amazing mom. And trust me guys, every single morning. And no, I will not make my own breakfast before school, as I do not have enough time for that, because a king needs to make sure he gets his beauty sleep each and every night. With that being said, I'm now accepting applications for someone to bring me breakfast in bed in the mornings, and this job will also include other tasks that I'm too busy to do, like making my bed and along with my heated blanket being turned on, and taking out my trash. Now that the beans have been spilled, I'd just like to tell you guys some facts about me. The first one, I'm obviously Jamaican, AKA I have an extra muscle in my leg. The second fact, I didn't know I had to say this, but I do not take any steroids/PEDs. But on the other hand, test Robert Watt, because I got my suspicions for obvious reasons. And I lost my spot. Oh, the third fact is that I had a dog, and me and all my friends used to call her Cheeto Puff, but tragically she passed away about a year and a half ago. R.I.P. Cheeto Puff. Now I don't want to talk about myself for the whole time, so I'm going to talk about the amazing court we had this year. And so very quickly, so I'm not up here yapping for 10 minutes because no one really listens to these the whole time. But now, these people I've basically grown up with since preschool, and some deciding to join the party late freshman year because their older brother was too smart for Marquette. From the birthday parties Kaden would throw back in the day when we would stay up all night in his basement and come up with the stupidest games possible, to creating the infamous Barstool account together in Mr. Goins' class sophomore year. Now, Kale, I would say I'm sorry for all the trauma we have caused you, from bullying, about your spray tans and the short shorts you wear, and every little thing you do day to day. But in reality, I'm not sorry at all. And realistically, I'll probably keep on going, because whether I say something mean or nice, you always find a way to complain about it. But I still love you, little sis. Then there's Jordan. Jordan can turn any random conversation you have with him about his truck and the constant fangirling he has for me. And to Jordan and everyone else, I promise I'm a normal person. There's no need to fangirl over me. Then Joe. I still remember sitting in Ms. Royce's class freshman year with Joe and watching him play silent football with Jake for the first time. I still remember the loss of words I had at this amount of time and the confusion I had looking at Caleb like we had Harry Potter sitting in front of us, and Jake and Joe were about to cast a spell on the whole class with the caboodles, thwops, zooms, and zoom blocks that they learned from fancy private school. Or whether Cooper's there to pee on your Xbox and sit there and say the most out-of-pocket things you can think of. To when Jenna challenged me in Oklahoma drills at the playground one day thinking she would have fun doing it for some reason. And then the classic throwback to freshman year homecoming when Kristen got dumped by the one and only Caden Carlisle. And finally, Elise. Through this process, I quickly found out that Elise can actually talk a lot when you get to know her. And Elise, just to let you know, if I'm being honest with you, once you told me no to walking out to Love Sosa, I never actually listened to the song you sent me. I just said yes because I quickly learned I had zero say in what we were going to walk out to. However, besides that, you've made this process really easy for me and pretty much carried me through this whole thing. And you guys should vote for her for queen because she's pretty cool. But before I start wrapping this speech up, I'd just like to tell you guys that didn't believe in me and doubted me, that I actually did write this speech all by myself and no one helped me. But it just took lots of procrastinating and finishing it the day before I'm reading this now. However, I just wanted to say thank you to the people that are in my tight circle in life, and I'm super grateful that I was voted up here on court by the senior class and got to experience these great memories that came along with being on court. And to everybody listening, I figured I should do the normal advice thing for you guys. And all I really came up with is to enjoy your years of high school, because they do end a lot faster than what you think, and stay out of the petty drama with the other kids because it's all a waste of time. But if you take anything away from the speech, it'd be very nice of you to vote Elise Barry for queen, and that AJE needs to be your king because no one does it like me. Peace.
Our final speech will be from Mr. Joe Newton.
Best for last, right? Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Joe, not Jake, Joe. In my years here at Roxana, I've been called many things. Mainly just diabetic, but I swear there's got to be more interesting things to call me. I mean, seriously, it's been 4 years and all you guys call me is diabetic. Apart from that, however, one thing that I am glad to call myself is a friend of every single dude who got on court. Cooper Harris. Freshman year, I remember walking out of the weight room to find this curly-headed stranger talking to my mom with the biggest ear-to-ear devious smile on his face. I thought to myself, I need to stay as far away from him as possible. Looking back on that thought, it would have been the worst mistake of my life. Cooper was my gateway to all my Roxana friends, and him and I have gotten through so much together since the day we met. Like this one time, do you know how if someone tells you not to do something, that then immediately becomes the thing you want to do most? Cooper is the living embodiment of that. One day, me and Cooper were specifically told not to go into the creek in my backyard by my mom. We both collectively decided that there was no way we weren't getting into that creek. Before we knew it, we both fell 10 feet down into the very rocky creek bed and lied there silently in excruciating pain. After the pain subsided, the silence was broken by us rolling around in the mud, dying of laughter. It was seriously one of the hardest times I've laughed in my life. When we came out, we then had to tell my mom that the reason my $7,000 insulin pump was broken wasn't because of the creek, but was because Jake crossed me up in the driveway. Sorry, Mom. Kaden Davis. Kaden is the Drake of the friend group, for more reasons than you might think. Along with his God-given gift of freestyle, this dude is goofy. If he's not plotting some downright freaky joke in the back of class, he's scheming some elaborate side quest that's going to get all of us possibly arrested. And for a dude who still makes skibbity toilet jokes, he has way too much motion. I mean, honestly, it's unfair. But going back over 3 years ago to the first time I stayed the night at Kaden's house, I slept in his bathtub. I remember getting woken up at 5 a.m. by his shirtless dad slowly pulling back the shower curtains and whispering to me, "You doing all right, bud?" That moment, I realized that the Davis name was truly something that needed to be studied. Now, Kaden's family has become my second family, mainly because I'm over there almost every day, but more importantly because he's become like a brother to me. All of the countless sleepless nights I've had with Kaden are going straight to my long-term memory because there's never a dull moment with this dude. Find you at least one friend like Kaden. Kale Hester. When my mom yelled down the stairs, "Kale's coming over," for the first time, I freaked. That night, Cooper and Evan, also Andrew in my freshman health class, drilled the idea into my mind that Kale was this socially awkward emo kid. So when he came over for the first time, I had this idea that Kale was also someone that I wanted to stay away from. When I first started to talk to Kale that night, I completely disregarded the socially awkward part. The emo kid part took me a while. But besides all the stuff I've said to Kale to set him off or get a reaction out of him, he's become like a little brother to me. Between me and Kale, there's a lot of brotherly love. He may say I'm a bully to him, but I genuinely love all the moments I have with him. Even if you think there may be more lows than highs, Kale, if you ever need someone to talk to about your day or tell you how fire your luck calm fits are, I'll always be here for you. Also, if you need anyone to talk to about anything, go to Kale. He may look like a mean guy, but I promise you there's a teddy bear behind that face. Andrew Ellis. Before I got to know him, I assumed he was one of those, he's quiet unless you know him for real, like a nonchalant dreadhead type of person. But once I did, I never looked back. Whether he was throwing sauce packets and expo markers at people in Nedemeyer's class or telling campfire stories in the JV kickoff huddles, this dude knows how to get people to laugh. Anytime I hear him laugh, I get PTSD from freshman year. And if you haven't heard it, this dude has the most contagious laugh, I promise you. But probably the thing I've wanted to say most about Andrew, or in other words, one perspective I've wanted to share for a while now, is that sophomore year, I finally beat this guy out of the starting kicking spot. So technically that means I'm better than a D1 kicker. Talk all you want, but I'm not giving up on that dream. Jordan Carter. Nice truck. No, seriously though, Jordan is a great guy, I swear. I wouldn't see him having any enemies because he's just a very upbeat guy. But he does. He does have enemies, and I know who they are. Anytime I've stayed the night with Jordan, we all haven't hesitated to mess with this dude while he's sleeping. I won't elaborate on some of the stuff that's happened to him, but if Jordan knows what I'm talking about, then he understands. If he doesn't, he slept through it. Moving on from all these great candidates, I also want to talk about everyone who's gotten me up here. To my mom and dad for always supporting me, my siblings for always being my best friends for always acting like my siblings, all of my teachers, coaches, and mentors throughout the years, Kristen for being the best queen candidate up here, my dogs, and anyone who's been in my life for better or worse. Thank you. You will never comprehend how much I truly appreciate everything you do. Finally, I want to wrap this up with one other guy up here that I also met freshman year. That person is me. High school was and still is the best thing that's ever happened to me. As much as I would like to get up here and preach to all of you freshmen about how much your life will change in the 4 years ahead of you, I can't. Fitting the entire high school experience into a 5-minute speech is just impossible. As much as I want to tell you about the good, bad, funny, easy, hard, the worst, or the best things about the time you're going to have here, I can't. High school is truly that once-in-a-lifetime experience that, for the life of me, I can't put into words. What I can say to the freshmen, or anyone who would want to take anything away from this speech at all, however, is that in these years here, you will be faced with some of the most difficult decisions of your life. Who you want to be friends with, which sports you play and stay in, what you want to be when you grow up. All I can say is face those decisions head on with the people you love. I can tell you personally that any one of these people up here on this stage right now will help you face any tough decisions that you may have. Don't spend high school alone. Find some strangers and turn those strangers into friends. Life is 1,000,000 times better with them. Because one day when you're sending your own kids to high school, you'll remember when you first met those friends who are now family, and you'll never wish it was any other way. Thank you.
That concludes the speeches that we have today. At this time, the voting form should be sent out to your email to vote for homecoming court, and the deadline's on the form. I'm not sure when it is actually, but the voting for king and queen is up now, and it's third hour, so back to class.
Jenna, your phone's up there.
Oh yeah, I kept looking up and I was like,
No, I know. I totally just wasn't thinking about it. Bro.
oh, I don't want to keep back of those pictures. I'm gonna go.